Hi everyone. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to learn about what SonarQube tool is and how you can integrate that with the Jenkins. Okay. So SonarQube is considered as one of the very popular tool for the code quality testing. Okay. So what is mean by the code quality? Okay. So let's discuss first of all the why this tool is necessary and what is the use of the tool, and then we'll go further for a demonstration. Okay. So the very first thing here, what is mean by the code quality? Okay. So let's say in the organization, when you're working. Okay. So there you have a developer. Okay. Now this particular developer is writing the code on his PC. Okay. So he's writing the code on his PC, and now we would like to build a code and we would like to test it on a different environment. Now before going and deploying the code on the different environment, one of the phase we might would like to go and do, what is that? It's a code review process. Okay. We might be interested to review the code, that what is the code quality, with what quality that code is written, and then what are all things we have to check, like let's say that whatever the code that developer has written. Okay. Is that code is it a bug free? Okay. Like there shouldn't be any bugs available that can crash the application. So we might be interested to check the is the code is bug free. We might want to check whether the code is properly secured. Okay. There shouldn't be any endpoint that will make some entry for outsiders. So we have to check that from security perspective also we have to check whether anything is written wrong. Then we also have to avoid the duplication. Okay. Because the duplication of the code, if it is there, then we are increasing the number of the lines, and when the execution is happening, so definitely the time required for the application is going to be increased. So we have to avoid the maximum duplication. So maybe we have to avoid the duplications. Okay. We have to avoid the duplications. That is also one thing that we have to take care of. And also we have to test the application properly, that is the code is working fine, is there any bugs happening? Okay. So for that purpose we have to write some unit test cases. Okay. So this is going to be the work of the developer again, that he will write the unit test cases for each function, that whether the function is properly working or not. So is that how many test cases he has written? Okay. Like let's say he has written the 100 lines of code, and he's just covering the test cases for 50 lines. Okay. So we should have an idea about that the developer has not written all the test cases. So such thing also we have to address and we have to fix it. So developer should be like following the rules, that he should be writing all the test cases. So we have to make sure that whether, like, how we will understand. Let's say I'm someone who is non-technical person, and I want to understand that developer has written some code, whether that code is with the quality or not. Okay. So that's the reason that we required something like a code review phase. And here we are talking about the code quality checking. Okay. So that how good code is written. Okay. Is the code is written in a complex form? Okay. Like if it is complex, then probably when we have to modify the code further, okay, maybe there is no scope at all that we can modify it. So such things we have to check. Okay. That is what the code quality checking that we can say. Now here comes the SonarQube tool. Okay. And what that tool is doing. So this tool is there to quality management. Okay. That here that we do, the tool, that SonarQube tool we have, what it does is it is checking the quality of the code. Okay. So here it is the quality management tool. Now what it manages, or like what all things it give us. So it analyze the code and it give us a report that this is what the bugs are, this many vulnerability we have, this many security hotspot we have. Okay. So all of this detailed report it gives us, and it also gives the information about that how many test cases is written, how many code coverage is there. Okay, all of this information that we can get it via the SonarQube tool. Okay, so that's, and then this tool we need to just apply on your project, and that's how we can get this all the reports. Okay, so this is the open source tool that we can have it directly. It is also having the enterprise edition, but it's up to you that whether you would like to use it or not. Okay, so here the stuff we get it there extra, but let's stick with the open source version, that community version, and then we'll understand that how exactly SonarQube works. Okay, so the very first thing, as we have just discussed about that, what SonarQube does is that it just analyzes the code and it gives us some good reports that can be understood by someone who is even a non-technical person. Okay, it gives some graphs, it gives us a lot of data actually, like the bugs and then the hotspot, that it gives a lot of things. Okay, now here like how exactly we have to integrate that. Okay, so basically here we will be running the SonarQube on a separate server. Okay, so let's assume that here we have the SonarQube running. Okay, and I will give this particular server name as a SonarQube server. Okay, so this is the server where your SonarQube is installed, and let's say like this is a place where we have the code. Okay, this is a place where we have the code. So if we have to analyze the code, then here one of the agent software of the SonarQube has to be installed. And then what's that? So it's something, we have the Sonar scanner. Okay, so Sonar scanner has to be installed here on this particular server, and then it will scan your entire code and it will give the report to the SonarQube server. And then whatever the reports that you have to see, okay, that what fix exactly you have to do, how many bugs you have, how many code coverage you have. Okay, all of these things you can be able to see it here on the SonarQube server. Okay, so idea here is that basically we required one agent. Okay, and then that agent is going to scan the things and will give the report to the SonarQube server. Okay, so from that perspective, the very first thing what we will do is we will create one EC2 machine, and on top of that we're gonna install the SonarQube here, the tool here. Okay, so we will be installing SonarQube tool here, and then further we will integrate it with the Jenkins. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do here. So let's go step by step. So the very first thing here, we'll create one SonarQube server. Now just to have all these things in a stepwise manner, what I've done is I have created one GitHub repo, a very simple GitHub repo in which you can get all the things like how to installation, that installation process you can just get it here in this particular repository. So if you just go and search my name Amol Shete here, and if you go and check this particular document, okay, steps to install SonarQube, so here you will get to know what are the steps we have to follow. Okay, so I'm gonna follow those all steps. So let's go and read the steps. Okay, so here the below document that I'm considering is for the Ubuntu server. Okay, so just assume that here the SonarQube server, that the one which we have to create, okay, it's going to be the Ubuntu one. In your case, if it is just the other server, like let's say Amazon Linux or Red Hat, okay, so just change your commands accordingly. Okay, the procedure is going to be exactly same, there is no difference. It just there are few commands will vary. Okay, so just take care of the commands. Okay, rest of the procedure is going to be the exactly same. Now here if you see that the very first thing, create any server with at least minimum 2 GB of RAM. Okay, now this is what the requirement is of the SonarQube tool. So you will require at least 2 GB of RAM for running the SonarQube. Okay, so if anyone is trying to create the machine with the T2 micro, so definitely it will not work. Okay, so let's create one machine. So T2 small or T2 small and above machines can work basically. Okay, so I'm gonna create T2 medium. So let's go ahead and create one T2 medium machine here. So this is the AWS console. Here I have logged in, and I'm gonna say launch instance. Let's launch the one server for the SonarQube very quickly. So let me give the name as SonarQube server. The next thing here, I'm gonna choose the Ubuntu as the operating system, and next thing here it's asking me to choose the instance type. So here I'll be selecting T2 medium. Okay, so which will provide me a 4 GB of RAM. You can also go with the T2 small, which will provide which will satisfy your basic necessity, that is the 2 GB of RAM. So with T2 micro, your SonarQube won't work. Okay, so that's a very basic prerequisite that SonarQube has given in its document. You can check the documents that what is the requirement that we have to run the SonarQube. So it's a 2 GB of RAM that we require. All right. So T2 medium is something that I'm gonna create. Here I'm choosing it as an instance type. Next thing is the key pair. Okay, so the key pair for login to that server, I'll just use the existing key, that is the Linux demo 111. Okay, so I do have this particular key pair in my downloads folder, so I will go there and I'll choose that key pair while logging. Okay, next thing here I'm keeping all the default setting, the VPC and all. I'm just keeping everything as default one, allowing SH for anywhere, that's fine. Next thing is 8 GB of storage, that is I think enough. So let's go ahead and say launch instance. So we are launching the one EC2 machine in which the SonarQube tool, we have to install it further. Okay, so let's wait for server to be in running state. Okay, so here we have the SonarQube server is in running state, so I can select that one, and here is a public IP. So let me straight away log into the server. Now here I'll go and open the git bash for login. So git bash is a terminal that I'm going to use for login purpose. I'll just go to downloads folder, under which I do have the key, that is the sh-i Linux demo 111 is the key with which we have to log in. So for Ubuntu, as it is Ubuntu machine, we have to use the Ubuntu as a username for login, and this is what the IP we have for of our instance. So let me press enter. And here we are inside of the Ubuntu machine. Okay, now what we have to do, the very first step, like after creation of the machine, what the next thing we have to do is we have to install the Java. Okay, now as per your documentation, if you go and check the SonarQube documentation, so the latest SonarQube requires the OpenJDK 17. Okay, so make sure that you check the document first, that what is the requirement you have, and accordingly you can go and have the updated version of the JDK. So as it requires the OpenJDK 17, so here I'll just simply update the repository first, and then I'm gonna install the OpenJDK 17. Okay, so let's go and do it. So I'll say sudo apt-get update, and before that I'll just switch myself with the root user for the Java installation. The next thing here, I will use the command to install OpenJDK 17. And here we go. So we are done with the Java installation. Okay, so I can just confirm whether Java is properly installed or not. So okay, here we go. So we have installed the Java of the OpenJDK 17. Okay, great. Now the next thing that what we have to do is that we have to download the latest version of the SonarQube. For that purpose, I'm gonna visit the SonarQube documentation. Okay, so I can just go here and I can search something, let's say SonarQube download, and here the very first link, it is just taking me to the official download. Okay, so here I'll click on that, and you can see here that we have a different editions as per your requirement. Okay, so we gonna follow the community edition. Okay, so either you can just simply copy the link from here, you can just click on right click, and either you can copy this link, or you have here one more option, that is the stable version. Okay, so LTS is what, it's a long-term support, so it's a stable version that if you wish to have, then you can download this one. So I'm gonna download this particular version, so I'll just right click and I will copy the link address. So I'll just go back here And now I'm also doing one more thing, that after copying the link, here I would like to download the SonarQube file to the /opt. Okay, so everything, every single configuration file and everything I will have under the /opt directory. So you can choose as per your choice. Okay, it's not compulsory. So I'm gonna copy everything under the /opt. Okay, so let me say cd/opt, and here I'm gonna say wget, and whichever the link that you have copied. Okay, so you can paste that one. Okay, so here this is a link. I'll just press enter, and now this particular zip file has downloaded here. If I do ls, okay, now you can see the file name is quite big. Okay, but yes, this is the file which we have the name. Okay, you may change it, but let it be. Okay, anyways, we have to unzip. Okay, so the next step what we have to do is we have to, like after wget, okay, like after download, we have to unzip this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say unzip, and this is the particular file we have. Okay, so I'll just like simply copy it and I will paste it. Okay, so here I got an error saying that unzip command not found. Okay, so I have to install the unzip software. Okay, so here you can see this is the hint that I have, the Ubuntu has provided me. I'll just install the unzip, and then I will unzip that particular file. So yes, now I'm done with the unzip part. So now I have to unzip this particular file. So I'll say unzip and a file name, which is quite big. So let me put it here. And here we go. Okay, so we are unzipping the SonarQube file, and yes, here we are done with it. Okay, so this is the file which we have unzipped. So maybe you may just simply remove this big file you have. So I will just remove it. Okay, so right now we have unzipped the file, and which is under the /opt location. Okay, so this is what the unzip file we have, and we have downloaded the SonarQube, which is the 9.9 for a version we have it. Okay, great. Now under that, under this particular file, if I just go and check, okay, here I do have all the files related to the SonarQube. Okay, so if you wish to change any configuration, so you may visit this Sonar configuration, and under that we have the Sonar properties file. Okay, so that you can change it. We have here the bin file we have. So under this we have to go and actually install or we have to actually run the script to run this particular SonarQube tool. Okay, next thing, we also have the logs here. So by any chance that while running, okay, if any error comes or anything comes, okay, so that those things will get stored under this particular folder, that is logs. Okay, fine. So let me go here and I'll just go to the bin. Okay, so I'll say cd bin, and if I go inside that, you see here Linux. This is a folder in which we have to go. Okay, because our operating system is Ubuntu, which comes under which is Linux distribution. So we have to go inside Linux. Okay, here you see that sonar.sh we have. Okay, now this is the particular script that we have to run actually, but here you cannot run the SonarQube with the root user. Okay, so the same thing here I have mentioned in the document also, that we now do remember that SonarQube cannot be start with the root user. So we have to create a Sonar admin user. Okay, I'm just assuming that Sonar admin is one of the user with which we wish to run this particular tool. So it's up to you that which username you have to consider. So just change the username accordingly. Here I'm considering the Sonar admin as a user. So I will create this particular user, and then next I will give the access here for this particular. So right now if I check, all the files are owned by the root user. Okay, if I go back and if I show you, like each and every single file is right now is owned by the root user. Here you can check. Okay, now we have to give the access, that Sonar admin. Okay, so first of all we will create user. Okay, and as this is Ubuntu machine, how we can create a user? So user add, this is the command that I'm gonna use to add the Sonar admin. Then I will add that Sonar admin user to the Sonar group. Okay, Sonar admin group. And lastly, I'm gonna give the access, that ownership access of this particular directory. Okay, now whatever the directory is, so just mention that one here. Okay, so under /opt, whatever that directory, just mention that one here. So let's go and do this all of this step one by one. So here I'm adding this particular user, and also I'm giving the shell type as bin bash. Okay, so which is the most friendly shell type that we have instead of the sh shell. Okay, so here I'm adding the Sonar admin user. Okay, we have added it. Then the next thing here, I will add the user also. Sorry, I'm adding this user to the Sonar admin group. Okay, so you can see here adding user to the group Sonar admin. It's done. Okay, great. Now next thing is, let's change the ownership. So command is that chown -r, that is recursively that I'm adding. Okay, and the Sonar admin is the username, Sonar admin is the group name, and for which directory we have to create, like for which directory we have to give the permission, it's a /opt and SonarQube. Okay, so for this is the one we have to change the permission. Okay, so just press enter, and if I do the ls-l now, you can see earlier it was the ownership was with the root user, and now it is with the Sonar admin. Okay, great. So we have given the permission to the Sonar admin user, and now next thing is what we will switch ourselves with this particular user, that is Sonar admin, and that's how we will execute that particular script which is there in the bin folder. Okay, so let me switch myself with the Sonar admin user. So I can switch it with the sudo su hyphen Sonar admin. So this is the command with which I can just switch. Okay, so who am I now? It's a Sonar admin user. Okay, great. Now at which directory I am? I'm under the /opt already. So here we have to go under the bin, and inside that we have this Linux. Okay, so just go to Linux folder, and under that we have the script. Okay, I'll just check which all permission we have. Do we have the execute permission? So yes, we do have the execute permission. So now I can go and say sonar.sh, and if I just press enter here at this point, okay, so it's gonna show you the different options. Like you can check you can start it, you can stop it, you can force stop, restart status, you can check the start status. Okay, all of this option you have. So let me say sonar.sh start. Okay, so we have to start the SonarQube tool. Okay, so I'll say sonar.sh start and just press enter, and you can see that we have got the last message as started SonarQube. Okay, I'll also check the status. Is my SonarQube has started really? So yes, it has started. Okay, SonarQube is running. I can see this is the port number. All right, great. So by default the SonarQube runs on the port 9000. Okay, so we have to open that particular 9000 port to access it on the web. Okay, so I will go now and I will open the port 9000 of the SonarQube server so that I can access it via the web. Okay, so I'll go back to the instances. Okay, here this is the place where we have created. Okay, here you see this is instance running, and I will click on the security section. Now under this you have this security group. I'll just click on that, and we have to add the inbound rule. So here I'll say add rule, custom TCP, and 9000 is the port that I have to add. Okay, for right now I'm just like keeping for all IPs. Okay, but in real time you should be keeping it like for Jenkins server, or if you just want to access it, then you can put your own IP. Okay, so don't keep it for all, either keep it for the Jenkins server or the your own IP. Okay, fine. So let's go and say save this particular rule. Okay, and we have added this 9000 port now. Now I can just go and have that IP, the public IP. So I'll just click on the instances, let's say running. So here we have the SonarQube server. I'll take the public IP and let me just put it here with the 9000 port and just press enter. Okay, so here you can see the login window, you got it. Okay, and you have got here the some username and password. Okay, so by default the username and password is admin. Okay, so for the very first time you will have the username and password is going to be the admin. Okay, so let me say admin, and password is also same, and I will click on login. So it's asking me that I have to change the existing password. So I'll put my old password here first, and I'll set up the new password. Okay, so just let me put it, the new password, and I will say update. Okay, so yes, I have just entered to this SonarQube tool, and let's have a little bit the overview of this interface. Okay, so here you can see right now I don't have any project, so it's asking me to create a project, and I can just integrate that project with this many tools, the one which we have. Okay, if you don't want to go with the any tool, okay, you can go with the manual option. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the manual one, but this is the place where you can create a project. Okay, so once your project integration is done, like when you run the pipeline, or when you run the commands, okay, so when the Sonar scanner is going to send a report to the SonarQube tool, so the issues and everything that you should get it here. Okay, right now we don't have any here, but like bugs and everything is zero right now, but yes, whenever we will integrate, okay, we should be able to see basically the developer will come here to check the issues, and accordingly he will solve those issues also. Okay, so like how the SonarQube is able to analyze the thing. So for that we have the tool rules here. Okay, so like here you can just check these many languages for which the SonarQube tool supports. Okay, so for Java it is having 628 rules, then C Sharp we have these 405. Okay, like that, these many languages for which the SonarQube tool supports. Okay, and these are the rules we have. Okay, so by default the tools are already written. Okay, this is tools. With the help of this tool we can, this is with the help of these rules we can just evaluate our code, that how good code we have, and then we, with the help of this rules only, we actually able to identify. Okay, you can create your own rule also, that if you wants to change any rule, okay, you can do that one. So these are the by default rules we have, these many rules we have. Okay, you can just check that what it is, that this should not be used in a static context, like these many rules we have. Okay, now this is for PHP, like that. For today's project we will focus on the Java. Okay, so Java is the project on which we will focus, so we'll talk about the Java. Okay, then next option you have the quality profile. Okay, now what is this quality profile? So by default the profile, the one which we have is called as the Sonar way profile. Okay, now this is a profile that we attach to our project, and those rules will get evaluated. So here you saw all the rules, so those are like all rules. Okay, those are all rules. And here in the quality profile you can see like you have the different profile, and those profile you can consider. So you can see here for Java also we have the one profile, SonarWave profile is created, and this is the default profile. So when you integrate the SonarQube tool with your project, so this is the profile with which your code will get evaluated. Okay, and it will give you the report that you have this many percentage code coverage is there, this many bugs you have, this many vulnerability you have. Okay, all of this report you will get it, and in fact you can see the rule count is also here. Okay, so this is the profile in which the rule count is bit low. Okay, which is like you in the rule section you were having something 600 plus rules, right? It's a 628, but in quality profile you have somewhere around a 479. Okay, so like this is how the profile is created. Okay, you can create your own profile also. You have here the option that you can create your profile, and you can select the rules that you have in front of you, the rules that which all rules you have to consider. Okay, you can consider. So if you might want to consider 600 plus whatever the rules you have, you can consider, and with that way you can also create your own quality profile, and you have to keep that in the as a default here. Okay, so that's how this quality profiles is there. It's like a checking the things. Okay, so these are the rules will get evaluated. So that's this quality profile is actually checking your code. Then you have the quality gets. So based on your quality profile, that you can decide that what condition you would like to put. Okay, let's say code coverage you would like to pass it like, let's say 80%. Okay, now by any chance that if you don't have written the code coverages, okay, or let's say it is 50%, it is 60%. Okay, in that case it will give you the remark that this quality gets, okay, will give you the remark that it's not passed. Okay, it will show as a fail. So this is like a to evaluate, or it's like a quality gate which will tell you that whether your so you can decide that how many percentage you would like to keep it. Okay, so you can also alter these values. So here you can create your quality gate profile, and you can alter, let's say you wish to keep it 90%, okay, coverage, then duplicate lines shouldn't be greater than 3%. So all of these things you can change as per your requirement. So that is what the quality gate is, and that will tell you actually like at the last that whether you, so let's say you have created, you have said that duplicate line should be greater than 3%, and you have those lines more than 5%. Okay, so you will get the result as it is failed. Okay, the quality gate is failed, so that developer will go and check, okay, what is wrong happened, and accordingly he will fix the things. So this is what we have. Then in administration, you can change the configuration related to the SonarQube, and those many things you have here. Okay, so you can either like go back on the project, and here what we're gonna do is we're gonna configure the project manually. Okay, so I'll just click on the manual option here. Now it's asking me the project display name. Okay, so whatever the project you have to give, you can just give. So maybe I'll give the name as a Maven project. Okay, now this is just like here for reference of the SonarQube. Okay, so whatever the project name you have, you can just put it. Then next thing, you have the project key. Okay, now this is just for the any sentence you can write it here. Okay, anything you can write. Based on that, you will get one key. Okay, you will get one token, and that token we are gonna use it for authentication purpose. Okay, so anything you can put it. It's up to you that what name you'd like to keep it. Anything here. Okay, then any branch name you have for your repository, you can mention that one. And I'm gonna say setup. Okay, just click on the setup. So now it's asking again that any of the tool that you would like to integrate, you can see here Jenkins option we have, but everything that you have to do it from here then. Okay, so I'm not interested with that way. Okay, so let me just click on the locally here. So now it's asking me like this is what the token name that it has came there, and that token we can set some expiry. Okay, like after this the token would work, like 30 days is the expiry that we are keeping, and I will click on the generate. Now you can see this is what the token that I have got it. Okay, this is what the token I have got it. Now whenever I have to integrate, okay, now this is the project creation that we have done, that is a Maven project, and here in later stage we have to integrate the Jenkins, right? So this is the token, we can use it for authentication purpose. Okay, or else you can just click on the continue here, and what particular build we have. So it's a Maven build. So if I click on that, so with the same token, okay, it has given me the full command, that what exactly command I can use it for this entire project. Okay, here you can check, this is the project name, this is the IP of the SonarQube. Okay, along with the 9000 port, and this is the token. Okay, so with this token actually we authenticate. Okay, so you can directly copy this whole thing, and you can use it later. Okay, so make sure that you copy it at a particular place that you will require it later. Okay, while configuring the Jenkins pipeline. Now what we have to do is we have to configure the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, and I do have one project on my GitHub account which you guys can use it. Okay, so here the project name is the Quit Simple Microservices. Okay, now this is a particular project I will consider, and here we have the Quit backend one service, which is a Java based service. Okay, so under the Quit backend one uh, folder, okay, we have pom.xml file and everything. Okay, so what does it mean? That we have to execute the commands from this particular place. Okay, so I'm gonna consider this particular repository. So let me say copy this URL also for the Jenkins. Okay, and I already have the one Jenkins server running here. Okay, so I will consider that this server. So I'll just click on this Jenkins server. Here we have a public IP, and let me open the Jenkins. So it is running on the 8080 port. So here we have the Jenkins running. Okay, I'll just pass my credential. Okay, so here we are inside your Jenkins server, and we have to set up a pipeline, right? So let's click on the new item. Okay, you can give any name. Let's say Sonar Cube demo, and I'm gonna choose the freestyle project. Let me click on OK. So you can provide a description whatever you would like to do. Okay, now it's asking me to provide me the source code management, like from where my code is coming. Okay, so the code is this. Okay, for this particular code, we have to like do the review. Okay, so this is a particular code we have. Okay, so I'm gonna say code backend one. Okay, now under that, sorry, so I have to copy the URL, right? So here I can just click on the code, and this is the place from where I can copy the URL. So let me provide that git repository URL. Okay, so this is a particular URL, and from which branch we are copying the code. So it is the develop branch. Okay, so let me put that branch name. Great. Now next thing is what? Next thing, I have to trigger the pipeline. Okay, now here you can ask me the question that here in this particular case. Okay, let me tell you one more thing, that on this particular Jenkins server, I have done the SH and I have installed the Maven tool already. Okay, so my Jenkins server is already ready. Okay, so here I can go and directly execute the Maven command. So in your case, say, let's say if you're creating the Jenkins server for the very first time, so you have to install the Maven separately. Okay, so I can go and directly execute the build step with the Maven command. Okay, and that's what here I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say execute shell, and here this is a place where I'm gonna put this command. Okay, now if you read this particular command, what it is saying, so here it is saying that mvn command. Okay, mvn clean. Now before that I have to do one more thing. So my project is not in the root directory. Okay, my project inside the Quit backend one folder. So inside that I do have the pom.xml file. Okay, so that's the reason here I'm gonna say that cd backend one. Okay, like it's a folder name is the cd quit backend one. Okay, so if I show you, it's a cd quit backend one, and under that I'm gonna put this command. Okay, so this command is to just do the report or analysis. Okay, if you would like to build a package also along with it. Okay, so you can say, let's say mvn clean package. Okay, so it will clean anything existing package we have. So it will create a build the code also, and it's gonna like sonar, this is the goal we have with which, and then this is the credential we have, right? This is the credential we have, so with which it's going to send a report. Okay, now here in this case, where is the sonar scanner? Like if you remember that I at the start of the session what I told, that we have the sonar scanner. Scanner is actually collecting or and doing the analysis, and then it will send a report to the sonar tool. Okay, but here in this case we have the maven tool. Okay, now maven already comes by default with the sonar scanner. That's the reason you don't have to separately install the sonar scanner. Okay, in this case there is no need to install sonar scanner, because we have already installed the maven, and if we have the maven, then there is no need to install the sonar separately. Okay, great. So yes, here we have done it. Okay, now I can save this. Okay, I can save it, and let's run this particular pipeline. I'll click on the build now option. Okay, here you see that the build has triggered and it's going. Let's check. Okay, is everything is going well? So it looks like it is downloading something. Okay, you see here we got the build success message, and now I will go to this particular maven. Okay, and then here you can check, like this is a project on like this is a project we have, and for which right now we have one security hotspot. Okay, then we have the depth code smell, we have two. Okay, so all the reports here we are getting. Okay, so like this I wanted to show you. Okay, like here you can check the issues. Now what developer will do, developer will simply click on the issues. He will come and he will check. Okay, so there he can find there are code smells, like kind of a vulnerability we have, security issues we have. Okay, so he will check. Okay, so here we have two things. Okay, you can click on that particular issue. He will analyze the code. Okay, for what particular line we're getting the issue, and why this is the issue. Okay, so he can check. So this is what here, and then it can also show you some solution. Okay, now this is the best part actually. Okay, so let's say In fact, even a developer is not knowing how to fix it. Okay, so SonarQube is going to give the hint that how we can fix it. Okay, so these are the issues we have. Okay, then in the quality gates, okay, we can check. We already got the pass, right? So this is what actually entire report we have. So bugs, vulnerability, hotspot, okay, everything we have. Then coverage we have 0.0%. Okay, so basically for this particular project we haven't written any unit test cases. That's the reason here coverage is a zero. Okay, which is not a good idea. Duplication we don't have. Again, it's a good thing that duplications we don't have. Okay, so this is the way that we have to like integrate the SonarQube with the Jenkins, and that developer will visit this particular this portal, and he will analyze and understand what are the issues we have, how much quality is getting compromised, and he will improve that particular quality also. Okay, so you can click on this, that here we have the quality gate is like passed, okay, for this particular project. So he will check because all conditions are passed, right? So there are no bugs and anything like that. So because this project is really small, that's the reason we don't have much things to show here. But yes, here you can check that yes, we have done the report analysis. Here we have got it. Okay, so yes, this is all about that I wanted to talk about in this particular session. So if you like this content, and if you love it, so just do like and subscribe my channel. So have a good day, guys. Bye bye.